Welcome to the Undercovers cast and Happy New Year, everyone. I'm Ben along with Paul, Jenna, and Connor. We are on to week 18 of the NFL's regular season. We got a lot of playoff scenarios and potential matchups going on this week, and one of which is massive. The Bills and Dolphins. We'll have a special guest joining us later. So I know we always, Connor has given us some great Dolphins stuff before, but we'll have, even more Dolphins stuff when, we get to that segment. But anyways, guys, college football, Michigan versus Washington is the final as well. So we got a lot to talk about, but excited, some exciting games going on this weekend for sure.
Yeah,
Ben,
definitely a lot of
should have been us.
exciting things that happened over the weekend. A lot of things. But let's start with some quick takes here. Let's go to a quick
Oh, I
reaction
forgot
of the CFP over the weekend.
I was muted.
Oh my God,
I was
Jenna,
muted. Yeah. Oh my god. Um,
way to go.
All right,
can
let's
I
get
say
some
my
quick
piece?
takes in here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let Jenna say her
Go
piece,
for it.
Paul.
Yeah. Texas, Washington. That was a tough game to watch. Um, I went into the game, feeling all right. I like our run defense. Um, thought that I actually didn't know that Washington had, you know, a a good defense. That they would be able to handle our passing offense because
Better than
I
ours.
guess their passing defense hasn't been stellar. So,
Their
uh,
run defense is what was actually weak. Everybody up
yeah,
until our snub was telling me, "Oh, if you guys draw Washington, Trey Benson's going to run right through them." And I was just sitting there going,
and the thing is, that's exactly what we did. That was the only thing that was working for a majority of the game was we were able to run down their throats,
mm-hmm.
and the fact that we even entertained passing the ball was just uh malpractice by on the part of Steve Sarkisian. And defense was eh, the run defense. When we stopped them on some 3rd and 1s in the red zone, like that was great, but we were giving up such explosive plays. Um, I it was embarrassing. The Washington fans that were in the stands, I just wanted to be like we'll show you. We'll get you. Like we'll make you eat your words. And I mean, up until the final moments of the game, like we never really did. It was so lopsided.
What a week, though.
Yeah,
First, the Michigan Alabama game goes down to the wire, then this one does.
And then
that was
the,
crazy. That was a
the
good
Yeah.
game.
Georgia FSU game went down the wire
Yeah.
till the end of the
Yeah,
first quarter. It was
Yeah.
yeah,
what,
yeah, it
Yeah.
went down to the
14
wire in our
nothing.
minds. Then Mike Norvell was like, "All right, you know what? Screw it. We're done. We're done." And I don't blame him
He
one
he
bit.
really wanted to sell the fact that you guys were missing all those guys.
And
Oh
we
yeah,
did.
we
Mhm.
sold hard, and now we're just like we're a meme now, kind of like
Yeah.
TCU.
Yeah.
Like,
No, TCU at least got to the freaking national championship.
And
We
they
didn't
had
even
their
get a
starters
chance.
too.
Yep.
right,
And
but
Max
And
I'm
they got
Duggan.
used to that. That point. The memes like embarrassment.
they literally
Ridicule. Like
yeah, like
everything is just 63-3. You
yep.
Yeah.
lost by 60 points. Like, I mean, it was basically a JV team still versus the two-time defending national champs. Like, Georgia is still
Yeah.
so deep and so good. Like, they
Glad
lost
McConkey.
one game in 30 games. Like, they're one of the best college football teams ever. If we're being honest, this Georgia team. So it is what it is. We were missing a bunch of people, but you want to talk about injuries affecting a team or teams, like, obviously George Travis, but Texas, part of the reason why they weren't able to run was missing Jonathan Brooks. Like ever since they
Right.
lost Jonathan
No,
Brooks,
we were able to run
well, right, but like you didn't
really
have that
well
that
with
bell cow
with Jaden Blue.
backbone. Like you didn't have that
Yeah,
number one guy. Like
but Jaden Blue and CJ Baxter,
last name Blue.
CJ
Oh my
Baxter's
god.
amazing.
I couldn't stop laughing when I saw that name. I was like, wait, his name is Blue?
Yeah, we
His
also
name
have a
is-
guy with the last name Red,
Oh my god, no way.
Savion Red. Actually, I
That's
don't know if he went through the
you got
transfer
a green
portal.
on your team.
yeah, for real. You
Yeah, I
got
don't know. We don't have a green,
Buffalo connection.
unfortunately. But
No,
we got Blue and Red. Yeah. Well, I
Blue?
don't know if Red is still on the team, if he went through the transfer portal or something, but yeah, Savion Red,
that
Jaden
guy
Blue.
needs to get drafted by the Chiefs. And then the guy that's blue
The
needs to
Red
get drafted
Kingdom.
by the Bills.
I mean, it's better than
Yeah.
the Michigan's quarterback's name.
Oh, imagine
backup
Jaden Blue
quarterback.
gets drafted by the Giants.
Oh
Big
my
Blue.
god, big
Yeah. That'd be funny. But
memes.
yeah, that game was a disaster. But I'll tell you what happened. After the failed onside kick, I turned the TV off. I was done. Like I had to be up at 6:30 in the morning the next
Same.
day. I couldn't do anymore. And I'm on
Same.
Twitter, and I had tried to ignore the group chat because it was just I wasn't in a good headspace at the moment, but I was on Twitter and I was just looking at the timeline and everyone's talking about, "Hey, Dylan Johnson, he's injured." And Washington, they're gonna choke this. I'm like, what? Like, how does that happen when you're just like doing kneel downs, to end the game? And then I turned the TV back on and I saw that Texas had the ball with 45 seconds left and no timeouts. They were on their side of the field. I was like, oh shoot, like actually do something with this. Like our passing game has been working for the past quarter. Uh, yeah, there's a chance. Oh man, and now
So you're telling me there's a chance.
yeah, and like prior to me turning the TV, I was like bawling my eyes out because I was so sad. And then I turned the TV back on, and I was just like hyped up. I'm like, come on, please! Like after the Jordan Whittington catch, like 40 or that was probably about it was probably more than 40 yards, probably about 50 yards. I was like, we got this. Like, we're gonna win this. Got into the red zone, and those were the saddest series of plays I've ever seen. But
Hey,
it is what it is.
hey,
They're
Very unorganized a little bit too.
yeah,
Like
it
that
was, and
the fourth and goal. Like I was surprised that Quentin Ewers and AD Mitchell was like so on point almost because
yeah,
they
it
were
was the
so
same.
unorganized.
It
And
was the
that fourth
same.
and down, they were all over the place. Quentin Ewers was like, "I'm just gonna snap this. You go run a route, and I'm just gonna chuck it."
I think
And it
they were
almost
just
worked.
unprepared.
Mhm.
The inexperience was showing.
No,
And
get those
Quinn
lights off. Off. Turn
Quinn,
them off.
he hit his head in the game really, really, really hard, and I don't know if that had anything to do with it. But yeah, it was just he wasn't ready.
Hey,
Wasn't
hey,
ready.
Ben,
Yeah.
you remember the Toafili touchdown in the ACC championship game?
Say that again. The
Do
Toafili
you
one.
remember?
Yes.
Yeah, that was when we felt the same way. Like, oh my God, we're actually going to do it. We're going to win the game. And then we held. And then I'm just sitting there like, no way.
Yeah.
And then what a moment. Like, I knew exactly
Worst
what
feeling
you
in the
went
world.
through, Jenna, watching the whole thing because you were just praying they could hold him
Yeah.
in the last couple of minutes. And then bang, that happened. And I was just like, are
Went back to
you?
crying. I went
Yeah,
back to crying. I was just sitting there in silence, like with tears in my eyes and just like staring out ahead of me.
me
And
after
then
the
I'm like,
Ravens.
I
Me
need to
after
go
the
to
Ravens
bed.
game. That was literally me after the Ravens game. I just sat in silence for like an hour.
Aw. Yeah. That's gonna be me if God forbid
Yeah.
Bills lose next
Alright,
week. I'm gonna be so disappointed.
Speak of,
Knock on wood.
wanna move on to how to fix college football because college football is kind of broken with the transfer portal and all that. I mean, when 30 opt-outs for one team, almost 30 opt-outs for one team for what Georgia and FSU, and what we all thought could have been a good game. I'm coming home from work and I'm like checking the score, and I'm like, okay, this is a
We
cool game.
yeah,
All
we
right, so
we
how do we
stopped
fix college
trying.
football here? I mean, just it's a
I
mess
was at
with
my
this transfer
grandma's and I had
portal,
to
but
turn
it's
on the TV.
also a mess because the academic calendars also in the way.
Mhm.
Well, okay. I have a quick take on this. Less teams, first of all. Second of all,
Go for it.
obviously what they've already done with the 12-team playoff format. Third, split them into 2 conferences only. We don't need the SEC, the ACC, the Big 10, the Big 12. I don't know how many conferences there are. All you need is 2. All you realistically need is like 30 teams in each, or 30 teams overall, maybe 15 in each conference, and 6 of them, 7 of them, maybe go to the playoffs. Make it more NFL based. That way,
There's just so many schools with history.
I
Yeah,
know
you
that's
you
the
can't just you
only
can't.
problem.
You're just getting
Yeah.
rid of like half the
Right.
teams. I saw someone have a kind of a similar idea, but like they did it like I think there's like 4 or 5 different conferences. It was like maybe like a north, a south, maybe an east and a west. If I'm not mistaken,
Hmm.
something like that. Maybe there's like a southeast too, something. But like it was broken up geographically, and then after that there was like a top division, and it kind of worked almost like European soccer or different sports with like a relegation system. So depending on how you finish, you'd either be, at like the top league or like the middle league or like the bottom league. And I feel like that would work. And then you would have, more competitive games too to begin with, because teams would be going up against schools, more in their classification versus just purely in their conference.
Mhm.
And now you're just gonna have a lot of disadvantages travel wise when you got Penn State having to go to, USC, or Maryland having to go to Oregon, or Washington for an away game, or Rutgers is in the Big Ten. Like, it's just very weird logistically how it's gonna work. I mean, FSU might get into the, Big Ten potentially even, and like then you got like the entire country is basically covered because you got USC, you know, kind of southwest ish. Then you got Washington and Oregon, in this, northwest, and then you got, Rutgers and Maryland in the northeast, and then you got FSU in the southeast. So like it's really spanning the whole country. So I don't know. I feel like these super conferences are probably just going to be the thing, though, where you're going to have like 3 conferences and the rest are going to be like mid majors. I think the 12-team playoff should help at least the competitiveness of the games. The different bowl games, you'll see a lot less opt outs, in my opinion, and players shouldn't want to transfer because they'll have something to play for. And who knows, maybe a season like this, a team like Georgia or Ole Miss, who didn't get a chance to make it to the 14 playoff, but as you could see in their bowl games, they look pretty good. Maybe they could have made some noise and went on a run. So I think that's the one thing the 12-team playoff will allow. So I mean, I think the 12-team playoff is a good thing, if you want my
Oh,
opinion.
very. Yeah, we would have actually not been screwed, Ben. We would have
I
actually had a chance to compete for something.
Yeah, for sure.
Best
I'm
defense
I'm
in the
going to agree. I
country, and
think
we
the
got
12-team
so
playoff
screwed.
will work. A theory was thrown out. Oh, internet.
Let's
Wow.
hear it.
Yeah, let's hear it. Let's hear it, Paul.
But I think, do you maybe get rid of bowl games? Maybe
No,
you get rid of bowl games.
no,
Maybe the bowl
no,
games,
No,
the
don't get rid of
players
the
are
Pop
out
no,
Tarts
there say
Bowl.
bowl games don't matter.
We want the Cheez It Bowl
no,
Well,
not even that.
The
and the
Make
Duke
Cheez It and
Mayo
the
Bowl.
Pop Tart Bowl have to
No,
wait,
no.
well,
stay.
Yes, they do, but stop. Beginning of the season,
Okay.
before anything starts, bowl games. No opt-outs. Everybody wants to play. They don't have to worry about the draft. It's like you're treating it like NFL preseason, but you
Yeah.
got all those cool little bowl games. You give the good teams something to play for. The only difference is obviously Rose Bowl, Sugar Bowl. You save those for the end of the year because that's where your champions are playing it. But no, most of these bowl games, just put them at the beginning of the season, right before the actual week 0 begins. That's what I think. But that was as quick a take as I could make that
So that means you would think maybe,
because we got to have the Pop Tart Bowl.
well,
That Pop
maybe.
Tart was
Okay, so
elite.
now you're thinking of that. Now it makes me think another idea that was thrown out there was reduce the 12, you play 10, and you're starting
That's not a bad
maybe
idea.
2-ish weeks before, and then with the college football playoffs, because you're extending the season, is now you're ending in mid January. You're ending right around New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, and you could still have your New York Six bowls right around the same time, because that's what they're known for, the New Year's Six. So if you're extending them how far they go, kind of loses its tint slightly, but not really. But like you shorten the season, make the regular seasons matter more, and then these guys would want to play
Mhm.
in the playoff, and obviously because they have something
Exactly.
to play for. It's a national chance to play the national championship. But like,
Exactly.
how motivated is a team that is 6-6, gets to play in this low end bowl at 2 o'clock on a Tuesday afternoon with nobody watching? Not really much motivation.
Never is in a bowl game
So
like that.
maybe bowl games, you keep some. Like you can keep some. Like maybe like like all the bowls that would happen like Thursday, happen like that Thursday, Friday, Saturday type deal, then into Monday. Those bowls can probably stay because those are like the bigger bowls. But all the smaller ones where you
Cheese It
get the
Bowl, for
six and
God's
six,
sakes.
7-5 team, you know, yes, you're getting rid of like maybe some of the smaller schools to go play in a bowl game, but you're just expanding out. Just getting rid of the games that no one maybe really would want to watch or wouldn't really want to play in. I mean, some players really enjoy bowl games, so that's where it's half and half. But I don't think there's much motivation for students on a Tuesday afternoon with nobody watching and
Yeah,
500 people in the stands to go play a game.
yeah. I think. I think what's his name? Brock Bowers really enjoyed playing in that bowl game, if you know what I mean. Bro went off on us, and it was very unfortunate. But next quick take, because I know I'll just start ranting about FSU all over again.
All right. All right, next quick take. How about the NFL? The NFL refs here, in every league across all major sports has full-time refs. The NFL doesn't. NFL has college
Some of these guys
teachers
are like
refereeing some of their
dentists
games.
and
What do we think about the
and
full-time
real
refs?
estate
Let's make
guys.
these quick takes, really quick takes.
I think there should be full-time refs, but the NFL is not gonna ever go to it. They're too cheap. It would cost way too much for them. And let's be honest, like, I mean, some of these refs, like, I feel like even if there were full-time refs, like you see it in other sports, there's still blatant mistakes and errors. So I think it's still gonna happen either way if you do switch to full-time refs. But I think it should happen, but I don't think it will.
I mean, also these other sports like baseball and hockey, their seasons are so much longer, so these refs can work for a longer period of time. Whereas with football, it's only about 5 months. So you got another 7 months where they're not doing anything really.
And let's be real, they probably should actually get like legitimately paid refs, because I saw somebody also talk about, oh, why not automate it? No, don't. For the love of God, don't automate penalties. Do
Oh my
not
god.
automate flags. You will
How the
get
hell
them
would they?
thrown.
How the hell would we like know
You
if it's
don't.
legit or not? Like,
You don't. That's just it. If the AI detects anything that might be any kind of penalty, instant flag.
and we know the
NASCAR tried it.
nuances too.
Yep,
There's such
NASCAR tried it.
nuances.
It was the worst thing they ever did.
Right.
There were penalties everywhere for weeks, and everybody was just like, "Stop, call them as is," and that's what they did. Like a couple of races in that year, they started calling them as is, and no one thinks about automated penalties ever again. Thank God
Yeah.
for that. Nobody should ever do it.
But what?
Yeah, full-time refs, I think, you know, like I noted really quick at the beginning, one of the refs, I don't know his name, is a college professor. So, I mean, I don't know if I would want
Imagine
a
going to
college
class like in
professor
January
officiating my
and like
games at the end.
imagine going imagine going to class in like the end of January and
And
your
there's
professor would
skyscrapers or
just
whatever his name is.
and your
Oh my
your
God. Think about it this way. Think about it this way. What if you're a fan? Okay,
Oh,
hypothetically, whoever that is.
I
guys,
wanted to say
we have a
something.
guest.
I wanted to say something funny.
Oh, come on, Jenna, say
Is
it.
my mic not working or something?
No, I'm just loud.
Go
Yes.
for it.
Imagine you're going into class in the end of January and your professor is an NFL ref and he was just demoted from the playoffs because he sucked all season or something like that. Like
Are we saying Brad Allen is a
Brad
professor then?
Allen? Yeah, pretty much Brad Allen.
Imagine
No,
if you're a Lions fan.
Brad Allen is not a professor. I'd say he's more like a janitor as
Yeah.
a part-time profession.
Yeah, hey,
Or a
yeah, you got that right. Oh man,
I don't know who's the rep that's the professor, but there's one. I know because I looked it up at the beginning of the year. There's one ref in this league that is a college professor.
that's hilarious.
definitely not Brad Allen, no, for sure. That's for
So we
certain.
have our we kind of made those quick takes, long takes.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jenna. I'm kidding.
We made our quick takes, long takes,
Professors
something
ignore-
fun
Ignore my
in the
students
future.
sometimes.
So
So
we're going to go into what everyone is wanting us to talk about is this highly anticipated game between the Bills and Dolphins in the AFC. Let's bring in Connor from the Dolphins Dive. He joins us right now. How are you doing, Connor?
Doing pretty good. Just got off work, so happy to
My-
be off. So feeling good.
My boy with his absolutely classic The Dolphins Dive Mike McDaniel shirt too.
Oh yeah,
That
very
one
nice.
is
oh my god.
beautiful.
I
That's
was
not
like, that
even
looks
the
like the
that's the
meme.
one right there. Oh no,
funny.
that one's not even the one that got all the traction. The one that's getting the traction now is the one Duke Riley was wearing with the Andrew Van Ginkel with the Andrew Van Ginkel design. That one is so good.
Yeah,
And
I
he was
got
singing
a
the
couple
song
good
too.
ones. Yeah,
He was
it's
singing the
good.
song too.
That was clutch.
But I
So
just
beautiful.
want everybody to introduce ourselves then. My name's Jenna. This is Ben and the bot.
Yeah, my name is Ben.
Oh, I'm Paul.
Nice to meet you guys. I know Connor obviously
That's
has
good
a
to have you
great
on.
name.
Obviously. Elite name.
Oh, great name.
And as I told them,
Connor
you're
squared on the
basically the
show.
better looking. Yeah, the better looking and the more artistically gifted version of myself.
Nah, I don't make the designs. I hire out for that. I'm not artistic.
Oh,
I
come on,
I
man.
get the ideas and then
So let me give
have
you some
someone else
credit,
take care of
Connor.
it.
So let me give you some credit, my guy.
All right.
You know I'm going to.
All right, let's hop into this matchup here. Let's hop into one aspect of this game where it's going to be interesting. Well, not really interesting. Well, the long list of injuries on the Dolphin side and the limited amount of injuries on the Bill side, because injuries at this point of year might dictate the rest of your year. And then you get Mike McDaniels when you're down 30 to decide to play your starters, and the Dolphins lose Bradley Chubb.
We're already mad.
Tyreek Hill was in a walking boot. Injuries is going to be a crucial part of this game. And how do you guys feel about the injuries maybe impacting this game a little bit?
Oh God, I have my own thoughts. I'll let Connor share his because he posted a video
Anyone?
after the game. Oh man, spoke to everybody wearing these colors because
Yeah.
it's so true about Bradley Chubb.
It's definitely a humongous. Like, I didn't really care. Like, we got blown out, whatever. But losing Bradley Chubb really is a huge blow because being down Jalen Phillips and now Bradley Chubb, like, our pass rushers are down to bottom tier guys. When Andrew Van Ginkel's a dog, don't get it twisted. But then you're talking about Emmanuel Ogbah, who was just inactive, Melvin Ingram. You're bottom tier guys. Like, I don't know who the Bills' right tackle is, but I know Deion Dawkins probably going to have no trouble this week.
Spencer Brown.
Okay, he's kind of good.
Their version of Liam Eichenberg, by the way.
Okay,
no, I
well,
would say Austin Jackson or Kendall Lamb or whatever.
that's hit
Kendall,
or miss.
Yes, that is hit or miss. But yeah, I don't understand it. But at least Connor, you and I were the only ones not immediately calling for Coach McDaniel's head right away. Or well, okay, maybe you thought about it in the middle of in the heat of the moment. I did. But once you calm down, it's like, why would you fire this guy for that? Like he will learn. And there's still people in this fan base doing it. Just drives me up the wall. What are you going to do? Are you going to get John Harbaugh to change his mind or Jim Harbaugh to change his mind to come here? What are you going to do then? You're going to trade up in the draft to take JJ McCarthy? Yeah, no, I'm serious, Connor. That's a legitimate tweet. It was a legitimate mock draft that I saw by a Dolphins fan. Can you really believe we're down this bad going into the biggest matchup of our year?
You gotta avoid all those. Every fan base has them. There's just people that are just kind of dumb or just say stupid things. Like I try to avoid all of it. Exactly. Like, it's just.
Yep. It's awful. Like they were, and then there's people that just genuinely don't think we're gonna win in this fan base, and I'm like, do y'all not have guts?
I believe in this team, but it's very much in the air. Like I could see this game going many different ways, from us winning to getting our doors stomped in. Like it could go really any way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like my one prediction though, Andrew Van Ginkel gets at least 2 sacks on Josh Allen, and Christian Wilkins gets at least 1 because it's Christian Wilkins, and there will be a fight between him and Josh Allen because there always is.
Probably.
They go at each other constantly, and there will probably be a fight between the two.
I bet, however the matchup goes throughout the night, that Diggs and Ramsey will get super, super lippy with each other.
I tweeted this out actually.
If Ramsey shadows him.
I think what they should actually do is have Eli Apple shadow Diggs and then try and get a punch thrown. That is a key to victory right there.
Oh man, yeah, that's a good point, because then you see, here's the problem though, Connor. If Eli Apple throws the punch and gets ejected, you're down to Cam Smith.
No, I'm saying have him bait Diggs into throwing the punch.
Okay, yeah.
Because Eli Apple is notorious for some funny business.
Oh yeah, but that's a real point though. Putting Eli Apple on that side of the field, shadowing Diggs, is going to make Ramsey very mad, because even I think in the Ravens game he was demanding that he shadow Zay Flowers, but Fangio was just stubborn in his ways and didn't do it. And
why he only wants him covering the right,
it's the left side of the field, but
his right, but their left.
I don't really know.
What's up with that?
My interpretation of it is it's schematic because some of the calls are meant to double the other team's main target. So you don't necessarily want to use Ramsey and another asset to just try and take away one person when Ramsey alone can kind of take someone away. Mm-hmm. But you kind of should just have him manned up everywhere, and then basic coverages around that. Like CD Lamb exposed us, although towards the second half of the game, he was quiet. So I don't know. Fangio, sometimes you question him and then they shut you up, and then sometimes he just disappoints you. So you never really know.
Nope. He see, in the Cowboys game though, he adjusted. He did not adjust in the Baltimore game for reasons that I can't explain. The man needs to figure out adjustments in this game. Put Ramsey on Diggs, or hey, maybe he'll hear you.
Is it because Xavier Howard went down?
Yeah,
Or Xavier Howard went down?
that's why he shadowed CD Lamb, is because Xavier Howard wasn't playing in that game.
He wasn't?
I don't no.
It was a
Correct
different
me if
game.
I'm wrong.
It was Garrett
That was
Wilson.
the Jets. Was that
Oh,
Jets?
right. That was the Jets game. Right. Yeah, that's why Garrett Wilson did like next to nothing, is because Ramsey was shadowing him all game long. When it comes to the Ravens game, they put him back on his side of the field and they never threw his way. Ever. And the times they did, he wasn't even around.
Yeah, they really, the Ravens really attacked the right side.
Because nobody throws to the left
Mhm.
because of Jalen Ramsey. But you expose that mismatch because Eli Apple's over there with the no Xavier Howard, and it's just free real estate. Thankfully, if Diggs is on your other side, you've got Gabe, I have no hands Davis on the other side.
He helped us a bit in the Patriots game.
I mean, yes, he
Okay.
did. I put him back on my fantasy
And the
team,
Chargers.
and he did next to nothing again. So
Yeah. He had what, like two catches or something like that, but he helped us on a critical third down.
Yep, that was it. And that was why I put him back on my bench.
Mhm.
Now it's a matter of what's he going to do against a Dolphins secondary that's kind of weak.
Yeah, please. Oh wait, you've already won your championship, so you can't put him on your bench. But mentally put him on your bench.
He's already on my bench.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not even joking, Connor. I did that right before my fantasy championship. I put Gabe Davis back on my bench. He put up 4 points, and I was just like, yeah.
I wish I could have afforded to do that. I didn't have anyone else, so he started for me. He got me into the championship, but then he proceeded to. I got blown out. I made all 3 of my championships and lost in all 3 of them. So
no, man.
And then the Dolphins got stomped. It was just not good. Not a good Sunday last week.
Hey. As an FSU fan who had to see his team get stomped and then see the Dolphins get stomped the very next day, yeah, it was rough.
Yeah. But
it was rough.
Are there I guess I have more like player specific questions. Like, I guess right now it's going to be in general. But are there any players on the Bills that you guys are most worried about?
For sure. Obviously, last time we played the Bills, Stephon Diggs went crazy on Kader Kohu. Once again, hoping Vic Fangio does a different game plan. And then I also said this earlier in the week. Like, Josh Allen is very, in my opinion, up and down. But whenever he faces the Dolphins, this dude turns into like God mode. Like, most defenses that he struggles against, from my perspective, is like you have deep coverages, make him force checkdowns, and eventually he throws up picks and whatnot. Against the Dolphins, like, our defense is kind of laid back, force checkdowns, and this dude will just pick us apart. I don't understand what he's got against the Dolphins, but he does it. So I am fearful of Josh Allen. And then as well as the entire like Bills pass rush, even without Von Miller being productive at all for you guys, like, you guys still get after the quarterback with 4 people.
Yeah.
And that's troublesome, especially with our offensive line.
Oh, yeah.
The years prior, our interior defensive line was probably one of our weaknesses. And right now, Ed Oliver he's having a hell of a season.
We're going to have to make sure.
You guys haven't noticed.
We're going to have to make sure that Austin Jackson's on that side and probably double him with Armstead somehow.
Well, I mean, we also have Daquan Jones, too, who is phenomenal. He's back after his pec tear. He was amazing last week against the Patriots in his first game back.
I was about to say.
He really helped our linebackers.
When was he taken off of? When was his 21-day window opened?
I think it was the Cowboys game. His
Alrighty then.
window was opened, and then, or maybe it was before the Chargers game.
Because Jerome Baker is
Yeah, I
now
know.
off of his 21-day window, and that really has us excited. And it's the fact of that it's Jerome Baker. He was productive before this, and he's coming back. That makes me happy. And then everybody talking about Jalen Waddle practicing.
He didn't practice.
My God. He walked through with the team. That was enough
Well,
to excite everyone.
he stretched with the team, but on the practice report, injury report, it says that he did not participate.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of guys that just generally didn't participate. Like
Yeah,
Raheem
that's true.
Mostert. Mostert always has the off days,
He does,
and
yeah.
everybody panics when they see him on the injury report because he already missed one game. But
We'll see
we don't
tomorrow.
need to worry about that. Achan ran all over you guys at our first meeting, despite the fact that we got blown out. He can do it again. And if we actually use him, yeah, it could get out of hand in the run game. Achan on one side, James Cook on the other. Oh, good
Yeah.
Lord. We might just run the football down your throats all game long.
Yeah, it might be a chess match of running the ball.
I really do. Yeah, I honestly, that's what I think the Dolphins need to do, because the Bills are known for like running a lot of cover 2 and once again deep safeties, and the Dolphins always end up trying to pass on it, and like the pass rush just demolishes Tua and everyone. Like, especially I think back to last year at the snow game in Buffalo, like the Dolphins were able to move the line of scrimmage. Like, I think that really needs to be the game plan from the Dolphins' perspective. It's just like McDaniel. I don't know why he doesn't want to stick to the run, but like. I want to see like 30 carries a game. They're not from one person, but like 30 rushing attempts from the Dolphins. But
who
knows?
Actually, no. Make that 50. Split it. 20, and then, or actually no, 30's right. Split 20, 15. Mostert with 20, Achan with 15, because you give the ball to Achan enough, he's going to outrun everybody on that line. I guarantee you, even one of my favorite defenders on their team, Teron Johnson, you ain't catching a Chan. He is going to be gone. And he was in the 48-20 game. But
yeah, he did.
It didn't matter because McDaniel stopped running the ball. He tried to throw it way too much. Tua got a little indecisive with his throws, and there it goes.
Yeah, I saw he was missing a couple. He had some floaters in that game. I rewatched the condensed version.
Yeah, see, Tua has floaters. Allen just has arm punts. And and we need to be able to get on top of those. Like, if you can't cover, like, pass rush it up, like, I kind of agree with what Connor said a second ago. You force him to just take check down after check down after check down. He's going to eventually throw up one of those arm punts just to try to get the ball downfield if we keep pressuring him enough. At the end of the day, they got to be ready for that. Ramsey has got to be like right there, ready for that. Same with Kohu. He's got to figure out how to tackle somebody. He did it in that game. He's done it in multiple games. Connor will tell you too. Multiple games, Kohu will look really good and just forget how to tackle. He'll let somebody go. And it's just like, my guy, drop, tackle somebody. Don't let them go.
Yeah. Kohu's not going to be on the outside this time.
No, he better not be.
I hope that we put Diggs in the slot, get him going that way. But a player that I think you guys should really watch out for is Khalil Shakir. He's caught 100% of his targets these past 2 games. He's caught 7 of 7, mainly on third down. And he was on Sunday. He was there for Josh when Josh did a QB draw, and he was about to get tackled before his knees went down. Josh pitched the ball out to his right, and Shakir was right there to pick it up, and he got 10 yards for a first down. So you have to be careful about that guy because he is a good separator. He's a good route runner. He does have a little bit of speed, and he's very, very smart.
It's their third down plays. That's what Fangio has to prepare for. third down. We've been kind of bad about it lately.
Yeah, and then Dalton Kincaid too. You'll have to watch out for him.
Dude.
Yeah. Dude.
I mean, Paul's wearing the shirt, so I had to.
Yeah. But Ben and Paul, like, are there any players that on the Dolphins?
It's a beautiful
that you
shirt. If
guys
my
like?
internet wasn't acting wonky, I'd probably be in more in this. Oh.
Bro needs an Ethernet cable. But
right.
Speak your mind, Ben.
All right.
I bought a new computer and it was working fine all day.
Yep. Ben, Paul, are there any players on the Dolphins?
Go. My internet's acting weird. I gotta figure something out.
Yeah, you do. Ben, are there any Dolphins players that you're nervous about?
Obviously Tyreek Hill. I think you always got to be concerned about just because of his speed and his ability to get open pretty much whenever. I think Chan is obviously an explosive playmaker too, who can score almost any time he touches the ball. And I would say on defense, it's probably going to be Christian Wilkins or Sealer, salt and pepper as they call themselves, right? No offense, but you guys don't really have anything at edge right now other than Van Ginkel. I know Van Ginkel's good, but Agba isn't really much of a threat. And you don't have a ton of depth besides that. So I think,
Melvin Ingram has had our number.
Melvin Ingram
when he was with the Dolphins, when he was with the Steelers, when he was with the Chiefs.
Oh, yeah. Melvin Ingram is going to have a day. He owns that interior line of yours. Owns them.
Deion Dawkins specifically.
Oh, it's going to be great. Freaking everybody was all hyped about the Deion Dawkins snow plow pushing through that Cowboys guy. You ain't doing that to Melvin Ingram.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
But
Deion's doing a lot better this year. He's having a Pro Bowl season.
But I mean, as far as the defense, I'm mostly concerned with the interior pressure, secondary. I think it can be had, but I think Ramsey's still playing very good. It just depends on like Connor mentioned, if Fangio trails him with Diggs. So I would say obviously you got Hill, but the interior defensive line on the Dolphins. I mean, how many sacks do you have between Sealer and Wilkins? Like they almost got 20 combined, right? I think they got like 8 or 9 each. So I mean, they've both been having outstanding seasons, and the Bills' offensive line has been good, but I wouldn't say the interior is necessarily their strength. I mean, it's pretty good, but I think McGovern and Morris, can be had. So I think that's the key to Miami is getting up in Josh's face and making him have to scramble,
which we have to do, for sure, because you can't sack that big man with one guy. Allen has proven that too many times. One guy with how big he is can't really bring him down easily. It would take the combined effort of salt and pepper to do it to him. That's
but then he's gonna flop. He's gonna flop and draw a flag. We all know.
Oh my God, yes, very true.
He probably would.
Wilkins will basically just tap him right there on the shoulder. I don't know if y'all know about this, but in 2018, the worst flop I ever seen occurred. Ben Roethlisberger on the Steelers, when he was still there, was playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They tapped him like this, and he falls over. He just fell, and he threw a flag. The ref actually threw the flag on that. After the game, Ben even said, "Oh yeah, I flopped." Allen does that a lot too. So that's the only thing I'm worried about. Imagine
it's smart though, honestly.
It is.
Get a flag.
No, it is.
But yeah, they got to make sure they bring him down.
Oh yeah.
But it is very enjoyable the yearly battles of Wilkins and Allen getting into fights. Once again, I try and get Diggs to throw a punch and get him ejected. Josh Allen too. Wilkins, I mean, maybe throw a punch. I don't know.
Maybe
the key to
he'll
victory.
grab his balls. I don't know.
Oh my
Now,
god.
you think if one of the Bills players gets after Tua, he'll do judo on him or no?
I've been calling for it all year. I want to see some jujitsu, have someone in a
Jujitsu.
chokehold, but it hasn't happened yet.
No, it will though. It will if he gets pressured enough. I just hope it's not on Kendall Lamb because we kind of need him. We're really, really bad on depth right now and at the O line. I just need Kendall Lamb to not be Kendall Lamb. Like, learn from Teron Armstead and stop being you. But
Yeah.
fun fact, Connor, I'm sure you already heard about the whole rumor bit about a very certain Dolphins legend that might come back to the team. But Ndamukong Suh is
Yeah.
rumored to be talking to us. And if he signs, I pray he signs quick. Just as long as he doesn't start stepping on ankles.
Hey, I mean, I'm anti trying to hurt people, but I mean, if you win. But I tweeted this out. Like Cam Wake would also be a good guy to try and get back. I'm sure he's still absolutely jacked, even though he's probably like
Yeah.
35.
Yeah, bring back Cam Wake for a playoff run. Yes, please.
What about
Actually,
Brian Hartline? I know he's
oh
the
my god,
OSU
yes.
receivers coach. Maybe you could put him in the slot.
Or Jarvis
Wow.
Landry, man, he's still out there.
Yeah, he is. Get him. Put him back in a Dolphins uniform. But no, if we're gonna bring anybody out of retirement, let's see how JJ Watt's doing. See if that man wants to suit back.
I
Team
saw like the
True.
AI thing.
That'd be
of him.
great. I loved JJ Watt when he was on the Texans. I would love to have him back, just terrorizing Josh Allen all day long, all
I
night long.
didn't love him when he had that 80-yard pick six against the Bills that one game.
Hey, I remember that. That was
That
fun.
was awful.
Yes, it was, but it was funny at the same time.
It was against EJ Manuel.
Yeah, and you know how I felt about EJ Manuel. Ben, you probably felt the same way. Like,
I
can we
like
just?
EJ Manuel.
So did
I hope
I.
he'd be good.
So did I.
I blame
but
Nathaniel Hackett for EJ
Everybody-
Manuel failing.
Everybody blames Nathaniel Hackett. It's okay.
I mean, he's part of the reason why he failed.
hmm But what other things did y'all want to discuss? I do want to say one thing though, Ben. You're not scared of Andrew Van Ginkel?
No,
Not at
I
all?
am scared of Andrew Van Ginkel.
You
Like,
should be.
Andrew Van Ginkel for sure is, and obviously we mentioned it, the first time you came on our podcast, but I don't know if he's just so intimidating or it's the hair, whatever. But I mean,
It's the
something
hair.
about Andrew Van Ginkel. But he's a really good player, and like I think he had he had like 1.5 sacks or at least 1 sack last
Against Bills, yeah.
last time we played in Buffalo. So I think you definitely gotta watch out for Van Ginkel too.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Andrew Van Ginkel. Just hearing that. All we need, Connor, just let's get the stands go. Every time he sacks somebody, that's all you hear. That'd be
I forgot
great.
it's a home game. It always feels like it's
Yeah.
going to be like a December or January Buffalo game, but it is home.
We don't-
So
yeah,
that's good for the
yeah.
Dolphins.
Well,
Yeah, They
home.
complained about the sun one time, and now every one of their games is at night.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah,
which I'm excited about. I'm glad that it's not going to be at 1 o'clock or something like that.
It should
but-
be a crazy environment though, because that what's his name? Is it Jeff Russo? This one Bills reporter said there should be like 50% Bills fans, which I don't necessarily buy total 50%, but I could see there being a lot of Bills fans because like that's what Vivid Seats, supposedly released to him, like data. And obviously Vivid Seats they're not going to sell all the tickets because, you got so many different ticket resellers, and then you got the NFL or Miami distributing tickets. So I don't think Vivid Seats would necessarily have the full data on, who's buying tickets, but
Right.
I feel like they definitely, they know that a lot of Bills fans are going, on who's been buying tickets from just Vivid Seats, so it's probably consistent, with the other sites, I'd imagine. But I mean, it should be a crazy game, though.
Yeah. I was listening to One Bills Live, and Chris Brown was saying that like 4 people in his neighborhood are going to the game.
Good
So
lord.
yeah, it's and I saw videos of like the Buffalo airport was like packed. I can imagine that a lot of people are going to the game. So it's gonna be really cool, and a night game, another night game for Bills versus Miami.
Yeah.
Will happen.
Last
Oh,
last time we played
Last
at
year.
night, it was epic. Last
The
Oh.
year,
Saturday game, the
week
snow game.
15.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was
oh,
great.
Connor, I just thought of it.
Don't
You
throw
know
alligators
Tyler.
at us.
You know Tyler, right? At Tyler TNT, I think his name is.
Oh yeah.
That he needed to go to this game. He went to the he went to the Cowboys game. He needed to go to this one.
I mean,
Tyler in the stands would just be lighting it up in
Good, we
that
don't
game.
need to hear
I
him.
don't. He probably like. I feel like for Bills Cowboys, like he wouldn't want the smoke with all the Bills fans because like Bill like a lot of Bills fans are familiar with him and Nicky Smokes, and he's the type of person like I feel like with Dallas fans they probably don't really but Bills fans like I'm not saying no we don't
That's
fight but like
If the game ends up our way,
yeah, he's definitely getting. He won't hear the end of it. Is what I'm
want to
saying.
leave early.
So yeah, so like I feel like the Dallas game was probably a good decision, Connor.
maybe it was on his part, but Tyler's energy would have just been lit at that Bills game, and you know it. Like Connor and I, we know it. We both
He'd
follow
be
him.
harassing our players.
It'd be hilarious. But I mean, not in the way y'all threw snowballs at Tyreek Hill, but
that was funny though. I'm not gonna even lie.
it was. Oh, it was.
The
It
way
was
the ref was
funnier.
like, "Stop throwing snowballs,
Yeah,
or we're
that
gonna get
was
your
what
team
made it
flag."
great.
I
That
was tweeting like Dolphins fans should then just start throwing snowballs and cover it as Bills fans, and then
Oh, I
No,
know.
Get the
there were
penalty.
Dolphins fans throwing
good.
snowballs. Like I was at that game. Like Josh Allen, like even said to the ref, like tried pointing because like they tried throwing a flag on Bills fans, and I think it was a Dolphins fan. You can even see like there's a video of it after like Dolphins fans throwing snowballs. Like everyone was throwing snowballs at that game.
Yeah, because the sun actually baked y'all alive at
Just
Miami.
don't
and
throw
Pittsburgh.
lizards at us or alligators, please don't.
I was gonna say, well, wait, Connor, you're around the Miami area, right? Or are you
No,
like
I'm from New
no?
Jersey. Yeah.
Oh, so you're
Oh
the
my
one.
goodness.
Okay. Well, okay, so now I gotta represent. Okay, cool. So that's where the iguanas are in that section of Miami. All we need is for just a bunch of Dolphins fans to bring in the iguanas late at night. They might be frozen. You just throw them suckers onto the field. They get heated up and they start running around. Oh man, game on. Create the chaos
I
because
know
we don't have to.
don't the Panthers fans throw like rats on the ice or something?
Oh my.
Yeah.
Is that a
grass,
thing?
yeah.
We are
Oh my god.
they are wild. Okay. I don't even know. I'm not a Panthers fan, but no, they're wild. The ones I know, good lord. I had one yell at me in my town the other day. But
so
he
many crazy stories of going through your
Yeah.
going through your town.
I told you about that one, Jenna. The guy yelled fins up at me and gave me the
Mhm.
little Tua salute thing like Tua did after the Washington game. You remember that one, Connor? Like right that very end when he goes.
What about
"Fins up?"
like what Tua Muse did or whatever? You know the
Oh,
video I'm talking
no.
about?
Oh,
The Buffalo one where he did
Oh
the
my
fins up
god.
like
Yeah.
that.
Did you see that one, Connor?
Wait, which one?
Tua Muse basically went up to a statue of a buffalo and started like dry humping it.
Oh my god, I did not see that. No, like I said, I tried to stay off of the crazy side of Twitter, but I kind of want to see that one.
No, I mean it's like
It's disturbing.
the only reason I know about it at all is I don't know whose tweet in the Bills community it was, but they were tweeting about it like, "All right, okay, buddy," and I was like, "We don't claim this dude. I don't even know who this is."
They're like,
And-
no, it's Holland Hitstick. It's Mikey.
No, it's not Mikey. I
Yeah,
promise.
I know. It's funny.
That man is like off the grid.
Love you, Mikey.
I
He
don't
was-
claim like 70% of Dolphins Twitter. Like
I don't either.
oh
Like-
gosh.
Like the good ones are the best. but there's so many weirdos and there's so many ones with just no guts. Like, so many of them are just ready to check out on this game, and it just makes me so sad. Like, get some guts. Throw some iguanas onto the field. You don't have the sun. Throw iguanas. Get wild. We are in Florida. We are in Miami, for God's sakes. Get wild. Like, that's what you got to do. Bring the energy, because the Bills fans are going to bring it right back.
I feel like this is just gonna be a wild game no matter what happens. Like, it's gonna come down to, obviously, not only who wants it more, but I mean it's probably last possession type thing. Turnovers are always gonna be important, but I mean, I think it's just gonna be like a battle of wills and who's more physical. Like, the Bills were more physical in that first matchup. I think that's a big reason why they won, because they dictated the line of scrimmage. They were able to create a couple turnovers, and Miami didn't really get to Josh all that much. Versus the Bills, they were able to get to two a couple times, and the Bills did a really good job covering Tyreek Waddle. Now, that being said, without Trey White, it might look a little bit different, but I think Douglas has done a good job. So I'm excited for this matchup.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really quickly, y'all. The Pro Bowl rosters were just announced.
And I bet half of it is our Dolphins and half of it are Niners.
I was going to actually say, Connor, my boy, our boy, Alec Ingold is the Pro Bowl fullback on the AFC side.
Reggie Gilliam is snubbed.
No, come on.
I'm just I know. Alec Ingold is more vital to his team than Reggie Gilliam and even maybe Pat Ricard.
You want to hear a shocking name that is on the Pro Bowl roster on the AFC side?
Who?
James Cook.
Yeah, let's go.
Wow, nice.
He's
Cook. Is it James Cook and Raheem Mostert?
Raheem Mostert, Derrick Henry, and James Cook are the three running backs.
Let's go.
And the fullback is Alec Ingold. So
nice.
Deion Dawkins too.
Hold on. Okay.
Yeah, pull up the Pro Bowl rosters.
All right. So I'm looking at it right now. They were just announced. So the quarterbacks for the NFC: Brock Purdy, Matthew Stafford, Dak Prescott.
No, Dak's had a good year. I think that's
how many? There's 4. Are there 3 or 4 this time?
There's 3 at least.
Okay. So yeah. Jalen Hurts didn't make it.
Jalen Hurts did not make it.
Well, I mean, whatever. Yeah,
I don't care.
I think Dak had a better season, honestly.
Who made it for the AFC?
Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, and our boy right there, Tua Tagovailoa.
How is Patrick Mahomes? How did he make it over Josh?
Because of the name, probably.
It's all fan vote based, so
whatever.
So Connor, let's just celebrate. Our boy actually didn't have to be an alternate this time, but he won't be there. He won't be there. Let's see. Yeah, well, we can only hope. Let me see. So wide receivers for the NFC: Puka Nacua, AJ Brown, CeeDee Lamb, and Mike Evans. All right. And the AFC: Tyreek Hill, Amari Cooper, Keenan Allen, and Jamar Chase.
I don't know about Chase. Like,
I
feel like that's more like I guess I have to look at his numbers, but
oh man, y'all ready? Y'all ready for the tight ends? This is where it's gonna get fun.
Dalton Kincaid,
Dawson Knox.
No.
Okay, fine. If y'all want to say those two right off the bat, I'm gonna tell you neither of them made it.
Well,
the AFC,
it's probably Njoku,
Julian Hill,
Kelsey.
I wish it was Julian Hill. Could you imagine? It's Travis Kelce and David Njoku.
Yeah.
Hey, Njoku won me a fantasy championship.
Dude,
okay,
Njoku was I was gonna say the same thing.
He's
Njoku's a beast.
The NFC ones are obvious: George Kittle, Sam Laporta.
Yeah, I think that checks out.
Oh, it 100% does.
But you want to hear a good one, Connor? Pro Bowl offensive lineman: Laramie Tunsil, Teron Armstead, and Deion Dawkins.
You already know.
Yeah, well, we got our boy there too.
Just
Trent
snuck off.
Williams, Penei Sewell, and Lane Johnson on the NFC side. Everybody else is pretty standard. Offensive guard Quentin Nelson, Joel Bitonio, and Joe Thuney on the AFC. And then Landon Dickerson, Zach Martin, Chris Lindstrom, center Creed Humphrey, Tyler Linderbaum. I am
Hey,
upset.
Tyler.
I am upset that Connor Williams did not get that. I don't care that he tore his ACL.
It's because
He
he's
was
injured.
Connor will tell you he was our best center. Like, other than that one bad snap against KC, he was killing it all year.
Connor.
Best
Connor.
center.
Maybe I got to fill in at center. That might help.
Oh, I retweeted so many
Is
Pro Bowl
Liam
votes for
Eichenberg
Connor
gonna play?
Williams. Is
Yeah,
who?
I think so.
You think so? Okay.
Wait, who?
Liam Eichenberg.
Yeah, he'll play. The only one that I
Okay.
would say isn't going to I mean, there's a lot that may or may not happen, but who knows? All right, let's see. So I'm looking at are you Wow, our boy, our own long snapper Connor, he got snubbed out of the Pro Bowl.
Who is it?
Long snapper Andrew DePella. I don't know how you say that name. And then Ross Matisic. I don't even know who they are. I don't know
I
who
have
they play
no
for.
idea.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like
Reed Ferguson was snubbed.
yes.
Are you serious? They should do
Yeah.
2 long snappers per conference and or something and make it Blake and Reed for the
Oh my
AFC. That would be
God.
so funny.
The Pro Bowl kickers, Brandon Aubrey and Justin Tucker.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Brandon
both
Aubrey,
ends.
man, what an awesome player he is. I mean,
Yeah.
former MLS kicker to making almost. I think he's still on
He's
track to make every
100%.
kick. Yeah, he's 100% like on everything.
Jason Sanders snubbed. And Connor, I know what you're thinking. I don't know how you feel about him as a whole, but he did win us that Cowboys game.
Oh no, I don't have beef with him, but yeah, he's definitely not a Pro Bowler.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I did retweet a fair couple of Pro Bowl votes for Jason Sanders, but that was after the Cowboys game.
No, that was incredible.
It was. I loved it. Brian Anger and AJ Cole are the Pro Bowl punters.
Don't know who either of those are either.
Hey, do not disrespect Brian Anger. That is the best name in the NFL.
Do
but
not
it's
anger
other
Brian Anger.
I need him to transition to running back. Could you imagine angry runs?
Or you can maybe there'll be an angry punt.
You know,
Yes.
I don't think I've ever seen this. Both Ravens linebackers made the Pro Bowl. Patrick Queen and Roquan Smith.
I don't want to hear that name right now. I'm still
Patrick
traumatized.
Queen.
You remember that pick, Connor? I don't know why they were getting up to the line that quick. Like the 2-minute warning was about to go. Why are you not just letting it go down? Why is Mike McDaniel making Tua hurry out there like that?
That was a really, really good interception by Roquan Smith.
Yeah, it didn't make sense, but also there might have been PI, but it was stupid. They shouldn't we were trying to drain clock because make it the last possession of the half, but yeah, it was just, and then it went downhill. It was bad.
Oh yeah. Well, to be fair, it went downhill when Tyreek didn't catch that pass.
Yeah.
Let's be real. That end zone pass that he dropped, that would have been a momentum swing.
I could have caught that.
What about
Yeah.
the drop from the GOAT, Chase Claypool?
Oh. I thought he had it. I saw that ball come out and I went, par for the freaking course. But by then the game was lost. I just said, screw it. Then Mike White and Chris Brooks fumbled the ball immediately. And I'm just like, are you guys kidding me right now? So, interestingly enough, teams with no Pro Bowlers: the Packers, Patriots, Commanders, and Panthers.
I mean, they're all
I
losing
feel like
record
the
teams
Packers
except
could have
Packs.
had a couple.
Yeah, they could have.
Packers had a nice season.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. I mean, they.
I don't know who
completely-
you would
no
really
players
put
that
in
were
there.
deserving
but
of a Pro Bowl.
yeah, maybe Rasul Douglas.
Who?
Did
Who?
and Rasul didn't make it?
No. hold on. Let me actually go to the corner list. Let me find the defensive back list. Let's see if he did or didn't.
No, he didn't because the Bills didn't post it. They only posted
Okay.
Dion and
Pat Surtain, Sauce Gardner, Jalen Ramsey, and Denzel Ward on the AFC side made the Pro Bowl.
if
Hey.
Rasul was with the Bills for the whole season, I think
He
he
would've.
probably would have
But
made it.
Oh, he
see,
has.
nothing against Ramsey, but I have issue with him making it when he didn't even play the full season either. Like, if Douglas, wasn't on the full season,
It's giving
like
TJ Watt from last year.
how many more games for Miami did Ramsey play versus Douglas with the Bills? Like, what was Ramsey's first game? The was it the New England game?
Yes.
Yes.
And
That was
was that before or after the Cincy game?
That was probably after. But
After, maybe? I have no
Connor,
idea.
I gotta know, when Jalen Ramsey intercepted that pass on Mac Jones, how did you feel? I just gotta know.
It was very nice. Have him back and see him do that. It was good.
I screamed. I saw that and I went, no way, let's go. God, it was so beautiful.
But you know what's better than one interception on Mac Jones, two interceptions on Bailey Zappi,
mm-hmm.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
must be nice.
including a
Pick
pick
six.
six. Yep.
Yeah, that must be nice.
See,
Hey,
here's the thing. Rasul Douglas took his last AFC Defensive Player of the Week snub personally, which he did lose out to Jalen Ramsey, ironically, when I think it was maybe it was the Patriots game or the Commanders game.
It was the Raiders game that he got it for.
Okay, the Raiders game. You are right,
The
Jenna. It was the
Bills played
Raiders
the
game. They
Jets.
gave it to him. But, I mean, you can argue Douglas had a better game that day because he had, 3 forced turnovers that game. I
Mhm.
think, at least a fumble recovery and a interception and a forced fumble. But either way,
he had two interceptions, a fumble recovery, and a couple pass.
But either way,
tackles.
Douglas finally earned that. And I'm excited to see him play your offense because, I mean, he played against you last year in when when he was on Green
Christmas.
Bay.
Yep.
And I don't believe he did intercept Tua then.
He did. I think
he
he did.
did.
I think he
yeah,
did.
he did. That was after Tua got the concussion.
Yeah,
we don't
that
talk
was.
about that. He was getting lit up before that. So this is a healthy
Well,
Tua. He is about
he's
to
got-
torch him.
We'll see.
I gotta
But,
say
I'm
it. I
excited
gotta
for that
say it.
matchup.
I gotta say it because I am too. Like, I've
Hey,
made
he
an
was,
effort.
he was getting lit up by the Bills last year too.
Yeah, now look at him. Y'all are a defensive back factory. See, Connor, that's how I wish we were with offensive linemen. Imagine if we had an offensive line factory like the Bills have a defensive back factory. We'd have the most
Or a
dominant run
linebacker
game
factory.
ever.
Although to be fair, considering what our offensive line was and what it is now with 3 or 4 starters missing, it is much improved.
Mhm.
Last year and every year before that, our starting offensive line was garbage, and now we're have basically an entire backup line, and it's still holding up. So
Mhm. Yeah, unbelievably so. We made Micah Parsons look irrelevant. You know how hard that is to do?
He was cooking, but thankfully Tua throws the ball before he can get
And also,
assaulted.
he was getting held too.
Oh, well, we don't talk about that, but yes. He would yes, Tua's strength of getting the ball out quick is gonna matter in this game too, because the minute Ed Oliver gets through wherever he's positioned on that line, Tua's gonna have the ball gone like that. Because it's a predetermined space that Tua throws to, not any particular person.
Right.
Which could be a weakness. I mean, in all honesty, it really kind of is. Because if he doesn't have that space, he's gotten better at his second and third reads, but there's still times when he gets pressured that much where he just lobs it into the complete abyss, I would say. There's plenty of times. We'll probably see it during the Bills game, which one thing I wish, why couldn't the Jets have released Jordan Whitehead? Can we just sign Jordan Whitehead for this game? Because that's Josh Allen's favorite target. I had to say it because they released Dalvin Cook. I had to say it.
Yeah. Wonder where Dalvin's gonna go. I heard rumors that he would be going to the Ravens or something like that, but
Maybe Miami. I mean, I know you guys had
Eh.
some running back injuries.
Like we had
Nah.
injuries. Like a section of Dolphins fans was going ballistic on the people saying that they should, but only for depth. You can't physically sign Dalvin Cook and be like, yeah, you're gonna play. Like, no, your depth behind Mostert and Achan, just so Chris Brooks doesn't get the chance to take the ball again and fumble. So, I mean, and to be fair, I love Chris Brooks. I do. I'm sure Connor, you have good thoughts on him after the game against Denver, but that fumble, oh man, he's got to get coordinated.
I think they need to give Jeff Wilson some more touches. That man is violent with the ball in his hands, and I like watching him run.
Mm-hmm. I agree to that too. We need a lot of like all of our running backs, especially in this game. Achan, Mostert, then Wilson in that order, because Achan lit them up in that 48-20 loss. He was the only bright spot on our absolutely bad offense that game. Like he's got to do it again, and I think he can. It's just a matter of get him the ball and stop neglecting the run. But we got game picks to get to, don't we?
We do.
This is the fun part right here. Watch me flub all my picks yet again.
And as a rule, Connor, we don't do any Bills games. We don't pick any Bills
Not
games.
anymore because we're too superstitious.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're way
We just
too
give our
superstitious
thoughts,
about it.
but we don't do definitive picks.
That's why this section went so long, because they don't want to predict, because the last time Jenna predicted the Bills Dolphins game, we won. I'm pretty sure that was week 3.
All right, let's get going because Ben has an early flight in the morning. We also have to, all that. So like so kind of get these like quick takes in the beginning. Make these kind of quick. Ben, I mean, Connor, you can choose if you want to, or you can just sit back and just relax if you want. But like the first game we're going to go for is Pittsburgh at Baltimore. Pittsburgh clinches a playoff berth with win in a Buffalo loss or a win in a Titans loss. So who do we have winning this game?
So Connor made a great call last week when I think he picked Pittsburgh against Seattle because, Mike Tomlin hasn't had a losing season since he's been a head coach, and he still hasn't. So that's why I don't think they'll win this week, because they already have a winning season. And even though they have the playoffs to play for, I think, Mason Rudolph, his time's going to run out. He's had a couple good games, but that usually happens with backup quarterbacks. I think Huntley's actually not too bad of a quarterback, and I think he pulls off the upset. So give me the Ravens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, there's a little bit of a honeymoon phase with backups this year. Jake Browning, with Bailey Zappi. They've all, even Aiden O'Connell, like they've all had their good string of games, but then they suddenly fall off. But I'm gonna take Pittsburgh here because Baltimore's playing their backups, and Pittsburgh, despite what you said about they already have a winning record right now, they want to get into the playoffs. I mean, they did not get into the playoffs last year. They snuck into the playoffs in 2021. Mike Tomlin, he's a very prideful man, so I think that they're going to want to pull all the stops to win this game.
Connor, go for it. I mean, our host Connor. It's
fun about having two Connors. You just never know. But my agenda I'm pushing involves Pittsburgh losing this game. So give me the Ravens. My whole agenda is to where they still get the 7th seed, but the Bills still make the playoffs. So I'm taking the Ravens. I know it seems to me like you'd want to take Pittsburgh because Baltimore has nothing to play for. But this is a scenario that happened once in 2019 Baltimore had nothing to play for. Pittsburgh had everything to play for, and Pittsburgh got absolutely demolished by the Ravens' backups. Same thing's probably going to happen again. So I'm taking the Ravens, not only for the agenda push, but because we've seen this movie once.
I'm going to take the Ravens in this game. I still think the Ravens, even though they have absolutely nothing to play for in this game and they're just playing all their starters, they're still going to win because I think they just have the better team. What do you think, Connor?
I got the Steelers personally. Ravens playing their backups. The Steelers just going to win a gritty game, like 20. Although the Ravens backups are kind of like would be starters in half the league's teams, but I'm gonna take
Taylor
Steelers.
Huntley. He led them down to the wire against the Bengals in the playoffs. Yeah. I love Tyler Huntley, but I think the Steelers, they have more to play for.
Right. All right. Next game is going to the NFC. Tampa Bay is playing to get in. Basically, is to win their division. With the win, they could have done it last week, but they decided to lose a game to the Saints, I believe. So Tampa Bay wins the South with a win. Who do we have? Tampa, or do we have the upset with Bryce Young?
Oh, I'm taking Tampa. I think that the Panthers owner is going to be he's going to be throwing more drinks at people.
Yeah, he's going to be wanting to throw more than drinks at the game.
I can't believe he didn't get suspended for that. Ross got suspended for less, and yet this guy gets a slap on the wrist for throwing a drink at somebody?
In NFL consequences, what Ross did was, deserved the punishment, but and morally and legally with what the Panthers owner did. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Was it their GM or owner?
It's
Panthers.
GM, owner.
No, it was the owner that did it.
It was the owner, yeah.
Yeah, it was the owner.
Yeah, it was the owner.
Yeah, that was weird.
Did it.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah. So, Jenna, you went with Tampa Bay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they got more to play for. They're playing for the division.
That is true.
They've looked good. What? Actually, who did they play this week?
Wait, what?
Who did they play last week?
The Saints. They lost by 10.
Oh, Tampa Bay did.
Yeah, Tampa Bay lost by 10 and we're down 17-0 at one point. They looked like complete garbage for most of the game. I watched because, I got Tampa Bay. I got friends in Tampa, so.
Yeah. Well, I think that they have something to play for.
They do.
Who's everyone else's selection?
I got Tampa easily.
All right, and fire the cannons. Tampa Bay's winning the NFC South again.
I've been in my little shenanigans about picking upsets this year.
Don't you dare.
I'm drawing the suspense. But Tampa Bay, they lost last week to the Saints, who's, I guess is the same. They're playing about the same way. I mean, they're both average teams doing average things in the average AFC South. Tampa Bay, for the most part this season, looked good. They just don't have the things around them to really maybe build upon with Baker. But they're going on the road to Carolina. Carolina is just a bad team. They put 0 points up on the board last week. I feel like they're going to have a 0 on their board this week. Tampa Bay wins.
All right. I'm
What do
sure
you think,
Connor.
Yeah, I agree. Tampa easily.
It's not even close. They got so much to play for, man.
So much. They had so much to play for last week, and they still kind of blew it, but that's all right. All right, Seattle clinches a playoff spot with a win and a Green Bay loss. We'll pick that game after this one. But Seattle on the road to Arizona, who beat the Cowboys and the Eagles this year.
Give me Seattle.
All right, Ben, right away. Okay.
I'm taking Arizona. I think they showed something against the Eagles, climbing back into that game. I don't know. I'm feeling Arizona right now.
Connor, you see what I mean when I say that's my sister? We think the exact same. I'm taking Arizona as well. It's not like Arizona has anything to play for. You're going to make your draft pick worse, but they've beaten Seattle quite a fair bit in the past. It'd be a nice bit of momentum builder for Jonathan Gannon and team. They're going to win, and they're going to not only ruin the Seahawks playoff hopes, they're going to make sure a second NFC South team gets in at 9-8. Trust me.
Yeah. You guys may actually make me pick Arizona as well, because I'm just sitting here. I'm like, everyone's probably just going to go Seattle, and we're just going to go right off the next pick. But everyone had 2 people had Arizona, but I think Seattle wants this playoff spot. I don't think they're going to let the Arizona Cardinals ruin their chances of getting in. Obviously, they still need some help, but I think Seattle will win this game.
Okay. Okay.
What about you, Connor?
I'm taking Seattle. I don't see the Cardinals doing it back-to-back weeks. I love Kyler Murray. A lot of people hate on him for no reason, but give me Seattle.
All right,
Yeah.
next game.
I mean, I can see it. But
Next
not
game.
happening.
How about the Packers win and they get in? Same issue they had last year on Sunday Night Football, but they lost to the Lions. This time they faced the Bears at home.
Yeah. What Jordan Love said about, the Bears on Father's Day or whatever, that's still true about, him owning the Bears, the Packers quarterback being the father of the Bears, whatever. We saw week 1 in Soldier Field. If there's ever a time and place for the Bears to beat the Packers, it's at their home stadium, first game back, with no Aaron Rodgers. But now that the Jordan Love, that was his second career start. He's in his 18th career start now, and I mean he's had a really good season. This is a home game for the playoffs. Give me the Packers.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Packers as well. The Bears have had a good run in their past few games, but Daddy comes home. Jordan Love's coming.
Oh, well, all right. Paul, you awake over there?
I'm awake. I'm gonna take Green Bay because I've been on the Green Bay train the entire season, and
Yes.
why not let off at the last minute when they can clinch a playoff spot? I think this Green Bay team, and even though going into the playoffs would be 9-8, they could still make some noise in a wild NFC. Give me Green Bay to clinch a spot that would also eliminate the Seattle Seahawks, but who cares? The Green Bay Packers will go into the playoffs and they will make noise.
Okay. I mean, if you want to think that way, Paul, nobody's stopping you. But let me go on air right now and say that if the Packers were to win the game and the Rams were to lose, they would jump the Rams in the playoff standings and be the 6th seed going against Detroit in their first playoff game should they win. But should they win? That's another story because no, they're not. Give me the Bears.
Man, I was hoping you wouldn't. I was hoping I'd be the only one picking the Bears, but I'm also going the Bears. Justin Fields.
No, this is literally their spoiler game. This is the game that's going to make everybody go, they can't trade Justin Fields unless they're moronic. Like, you can't do it. This is going to be the game that solidifies Justin Fields as the Bears starter. And sure, they're 8-9, but you still got the first overall pick.
They're 8-9.
If they win the game, they'll be 8-9.
And they have the first overall pick. What the? I know because of the Panthers, but man, that's crazy. The Bears have a chance to make the playoffs.
Yep. Well, no, they don't.
They don't.
Eliminated. They don't.
I think it was probably last week they did.
Yeah, last week
they did last week. They needed to win, and they get like a whole sea load of help.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They literally needed the Packers and Vikings to tie.
Yeah, that's what they needed.
Are they like 8-8 right now or something? Or are they?
No, they're 7-9. They're 7-9.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say.
All right, let's get to the next one, which has almost every implication to the playoffs to the AFC as possible. Houston on the road to Indianapolis, and Saturday night football. Houston clinches what they win. Same thing with Indy, but here's the interesting twist: if one of these two teams wins and Jacksonville loses, they will get the division, and Jacksonville would need help to get into the playoffs. So, who do we got?
Ooh.
This is gonna be good.
Yeah, this is interesting. I'm gonna take Houston. See, is CJ back, or has he
is.
been back?
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
back.
He's back. Yeah, I'm gonna take Houston.
If you got them 18-week fantasy leagues, like I know people do, CJ Stroud gonna light him up, put him as that quarterback. But Ben, you got one?
I'll go after everyone else this time.
Oh,
the
man
suspense.
has to think. Okay, you know what? I won't think because I know. Either way, in my little dream agenda here, it doesn't matter who wins because the winner of this game is winning the AFC South. But I think this is going to be the game where CJ
Oh,
Stroud
you think that Jacksonville's gonna lose?
to further this agenda. Yes,
Okay.
to further
Which
this
I
agenda.
love. I love that, actually. I absolutely love that.
Yeah, you probably do.
Save
because
that
if
for
they-
next pick. Just continue.
But yeah, no, I'm taking Houston. I'm taking Houston 100%. I don't trust Gardner Minshew in a big game. Man's going to be the Donald Trump meme. Get those lights off. Off. Like, that's going to be him. So it's give me the Texans. Texans to win and to win the AFC South. That'll be next pick.
All
right.
right.
Give me Houston. Not 100% sure if they're going to win the South, but a win gets them in, and which makes me happy for CJ Stroud and that young team of Houston Texans, which, hopefully the Bills don't have to face in the playoffs, because if they get in, I feel like they can make noise. But good for Houston for them after years of the last few years of losing to get a chance to go play playoff football.
Mm-hmm.
I think Connor will go then. Ben.
Okay.
Want
And
his
this is-
Pat McAfee moment.
This is tough. Give me Houston. Give me Houston.
Yeah, I could see it like 100%.
All right, Ben.
Yeah. So I was kind of hoping everyone would take Houston, so I can kind of go out on a little island and take Indy. But
Oh,
I
boy.
think Indy's got a great chance to win. I mean, this should be like a playoff like atmosphere for them. It's a home game. It's a huge game for them. I mean, we kind of already saw this matchup earlier in the season. I mean, I know Richardson did play in the first quarter and help give his team the lead, but I mean, Minshew still was able, to finish the game and win the game versus Stroud, and that was in Houston, and that was without Jonathan Taylor, and Pittman is healthy, and I mean, Minshew's been playing pretty good, and I mean, Houston's defense isn't exactly that great either. So this being in the Colts place, I think, as far as a chess matchup goes, I favor the Colts, and I think Steichen can out scheme D'Amico Ryan. So give me the Colts.
You're on your own little island. You
He's
have
been
a
on the Colts
2-game
train
lead.
for the whole
see.
season.
Mm-hmm.
All right. For the next game pick, we also have a special game pick after this one, so we get a bonus selection this week. Jaguars at Titans. If the Titans have nothing to play for, have nothing to play for here, but Jags win the South with the win. If they lose and the Houston Indy game goes anyway, it could, and anything else happens in the AFC, the Jaguars could have possibly missed out on the playoffs entirely. So
It's
who
just
do
the
we
same
got?
situation as the Bills.
Yeah, basically.
Scary.
It's nice that y'all are feeling what we did in 2020 for once. Win and you're in, and then we got our doors blown out. But I already said it, so I'm going to say it again. Tennessee upsets Jacksonville because Mike Vrabel in his pregame comments just was so mad about losing. Jacksonville has a lot to play for, but Trevor Lawrence's injury, I mean, that might slow things down a little bit. So I personally think Tennessee is going to ride the hot hand of Derrick Henry and Will Levis to win this game, eliminate the Jaguars, and lock the Bills into the playoffs while getting steamrolled by Devon Chan on Sunday night. Mic drop.
Okay. Yeah, I'm taking the Titans too. And also DeAndre Hopkins has a bonus check. He has a I don't know, maybe a reception thing or something to get his bonus. But so I'm sure he's going to be extra motivated to get his money. And then Mike Vrabel's comments about hating losing and being pissed at the world. I think he's gonna want to show something and ruin the Jaguars' season.
Give me the Titans as well. I feel like there's an upset brewing. This is my upset pick of the week. Ben, who do you got?
I mean, I really want Tennessee. Where's this game? In Tennessee?
In Tennessee.
Yep.
It's Tennessee.
I mean, I think this has all the makings for a Tennessee win. I don't know though. I still, if Levis is, a little banged up, I don't know if I could confidently pick Tannehill to get the job done. So I'm leaning Jacksonville. Give me the Jags.
Yeah, give me the Jags too.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a good case. They really do.
All right, let's roll through this bonus selection as quickly as we can. It is the national championship game, Michigan versus Washington. Who wins the Natty?
Oh man.
Oh, this is going to be a great game for starters. I mean, both playoff games were really close and came down to literally the last play. But I know Michigan's the number one team, but in this instance, I think you saw it last year in the Super Bowl where a great offense in, modern football beats a really good defense. And I think Washington just has too many weapons. And I think Penix Jr. is just playing so well right now. As we saw, Texas has a great defense, really good third down defense, but it didn't matter against Michael Penix, Jalen McMillan, Rome Odunze, Jalen Polk, so on and so forth. So I think Washington gets it done and wins the Natty.
As much as I hated seeing Rome Odunze cook my Longhorns, I rest assured Odunze will be a Bill. But I'm taking Michigan in this one. Washington was carved up on the ground, and Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards?
Yeah, Donovan Edwards
might have something to say about that. So if they can control the game with their run game, and then Roman Wilson and all their pass catching weapons can exploit Washington secondary, and then like you said, the better offenses can defeat great defenses, but Michigan has a really, really good defense, and we'll see. I think they're that run game, that run defense, that might be crucial.
All right, I'm on the fence with this one because Rome Odunze and every other receiver on that Washington team was amazing, and then their defense, because it's a Pac-12 defense, they can't play defense. And you're like, Blake Corum and everyone else for Michigan. I think Michigan's defense, what they did against Alabama, is going to hold down, at least minimize a little bit of what Washington can do on offense. Michigan has a lot to play for with all the regular season stuff. Give me Michigan.
Oh, okay. Well, give me Florida State. Okay, now that I'm back in reality, this is a tough one. I think that Washington actually, they got really talented receivers, Romeo Odunze in a dream scenario
Romeo
goes to,
Odunze.
I don't even know how you pronounce it, okay?
It's Rome.
Don't judge
You
me.
said Romeo.
Romeo.
Excuse me, okay? I do not know. I've been so just out of it since Florida State got screwed. But anyway, I actually this is going to be a good game. I think both teams could put up 40 points by themselves.
Gotta be up
And
to 1 a.m. again.
yeah, for real. We'll be up until 1 a.m. watching them because they'll both be in like 8, 9 overtimes. I like Washington's offense a lot in this game. I actually think that their defense is going to tighten up and they'll figure a way to stop JJ McCarthy when it matters most. And to that end, give me Michigan.
Jeez, I wrote you down for the other team.
Just call me Pat McAfee. just call
Literally.
me Pat McAfee right there because I'm thinking Michigan to win the game.
All right, Connor, do you have any thoughts on this? I don't know how
I'm
much
not
of a college fan you are.
Yeah, I don't pay too much attention to college, but as an Ohio State fan, I passionately hate Michigan, but their defense is filthy. I got to go Michigan.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm on an island again.
You are on an island again. Kind of actually,
Oh,
I
man.
think didn't you take Michigan to win it all a week ago? I don't know. I think you did, Ben. I don't know.
If
I
I
have no idea.
did, then
You
I'm
did, I think.
flipping
And
based on the semis. But I
Yeah.
mean, that's just based on the semis. I think Washington was the best team.
they were. All right, Connor, thank you so much for joining in on the Dolphins Bills talk. Obviously, my internet decided, or my computer decided to act slow right before the show, and it decided to carry itself into the show. So I didn't get much of it, but as much as everyone else enjoyed, we thank you for joining in on the conversation, and have a great rest of your day because we're about to wrap up.
Thanks for having me,
If
guys.
you want to give out
Oh,
a plug to yourself as well, if you go for it.
Yeah, the Dolphins dive everywhere: TikTok, Twitter, Instagram.
Buy the man's merch. Buy that Andrew Van Ginkel shirt.
All right, appreciate you guys for having me.
Yeah, anytime.
Oh, yeah.
Take care.
Take care.
All right. Quick final thoughts before we end. Like really quick. Make it like 15 seconds.
All right, you want 15 seconds? I'll give you 15 seconds. So I told you my agenda.
Get
I
9
actually
left.
think there's a better chance this happens than it doesn't, because you what's the first game, Steelers Ravens? Okay, so it doesn't matter. We've seen this episode. Like, Ravens are going to probably dog walk them all game long with their backups. Jacksonville is probably not going to show up. Like, I just got this feeling that Tennessee is going to do what they need to do after Vrabel's comments. The team is going to be fired up and ready to go. At that point, I think it's those two games, the exact opposite things occur. So the Bills would be locked into the playoffs with a loss, which, if that does happen, that puts the Bills at the 6th seed and keeps the Steelers at 7, keeping you guys in the playoffs and giving me the matchup I want in round 1 to smack the Yinzers right across the face in Miami again and giving us our first playoff win since 2000. That's my thought. I mean, I'm trying to keep y'all in the playoffs because the only other way it happens with Pittsburgh making it at 7 is y'all have to, if any other scenario
Well,
happens.
you'll stay in the playoffs once you go to Arrowhead.
I'm actually
the script
fairly
is in. The script is in. Chiefs go to Arrowhead. Raven.
Chiefs.
The Chiefs are in Arrowhead. Ben?
Right. The Chiefs go to Arrowhead to play the Dolphins.
He said it again.
The Lions. I
He
mean,
just said
will the Chiefs not be in Arrowhead for that game?
No, they'll be. We're going to Arrowhead if we lose to you guys. The
So
Dolphins
the Chiefs
are traveling.
won't be playing in Arrowhead for that game at all. You're telling me?
No, Ben, don't get it twisted. They will be in Arrowhead playing
Exactly.
us.
Right.
All right, come on.
So
I
the
want to watch some
Dolphins-
TikTok.
Exactly. Either way, the Dolphins go to Arrowhead. Rams go to Detroit, and then
Man.
eventually
Game of the year material.
you got Flacco going back to Baltimore. You know,
That would be amazing.
script is in. I'm just saying, you got all this stuff going on. All right, Jenna, finish up.
Let me
Really
I gotta go
quick.
too.
I don't really have much to say. Otherwise, this game is going to be really good. I think it's going to be close, despite your injuries. I think you guys have a lot to play for, considering that you guys have a great home record. You're going to want to stay at home for the playoffs. So
Ooh,
that's just more
yes.
than enough um, incentive. And
Oh,
then
yes.
you want the division too. You've had it for most of the season.
It's been 15
And
years.
yeah, and they're a little bit of a lead given up due to a dumb loss.
Y'all would
But
know all about dumb losses, just saying.
yeah, I mean, yeah,
We've
we've
all
lost to teams that we
every
shouldn't have
team has
lost
had
to.
them.
Yeah, of
Every
course.
team has had them. The Dolphins just have only had one compared to most teams having 2 or more. Especially you guys. You've
Yeah.
had what, 3?
Mhm.
Jets,
Jets,
Jags,
Jags,
Patriots.
eh.
No, not Jags. Patriots and Broncos.
Yeah.
Jets,
No, the
Patriots,
Broncos
Broncos.
wasn't a bad loss. They were good at the time. They were playing good at the time.
Yeah, they
12
were,
I
but
don't
it
put
was
that a bad loss.
we shouldn't have
12
lost
men on the
I
field,
think the
13 seconds left.
yeah, I mean the way you lost it, but like I mean the Broncos are so a decent team.
Oh, yeah, no
the
doubt.
Patriots lost and the Jets lost were one thing, but
Oh, the Patriots loss was bad. That's when I thought, all
all
right,
right,
that's gonna get people going, and it did. It
I
got
know.
Dolphins
All right,
Twitter
that's
going.
a conversation for another day.
It really
Yeah.
is.
I mean, we talked for
Yeah.
an hour and 41 minutes today. Ben has an early flight to Miami, so hopefully you get a good
That's
night
right.
rest. Safe travels to
I'm
your
excited for that game, by
for
the
your
way.
little trip.
So excited. It's gonna be
Oh, you
amazing.
should
We're
be.
all excited. I mean, Miami under the lights. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
what else can you ask for?
And we all know
So,
how Miami does in prime time, right? So I think we should
We
end on
won
that.
we won one of those primetime games, thank you.
Against
So,
2 though. Mac
right.
Jones. All right,
hey,
well,
it was
we'll
a
see.
primetime win. We can win in
All right,
primetime.
that's true.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right,
We
well,
thank for everyone for tuning in. Like, subscribe, comment if you feel like it, for extra content that you would like us to see. But other than that, go Bills.
Yeah,
go.
we'll see you guys on okay, Ben. Yeah, he
Ben
really has
just
to go to
did.
Miami.
Yeah.
But we're gonna be back on Monday night because the holidays are practically over. So
Yeah.
guess we'll see you all then. And
We will indeed.
the show is definitely gonna be it's gonna be something depending on the result.
The ones watching on video, I hope you guys get to see Jenna's little what is it? That little decorative thing with the football helmets behind her. I hope you guys still get to see the right team in the right place. If not, I will be so sad. She will I'm sure she'll make some kind of crazy tweet about it and like throw our helmet off. But hey, whatever works.
All right.
Yep.
See ya.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be changing that. All right.
No, you won't,
My
but it's
dogs are
okay.
being annoying. All right, go Bills, everyone. We'll see you
Go
next week.
Bills.
Fins up.